I can no longer vote in America. As of today, I have surrendered my right to vote in the United States of America as a U.S. citizen. Now, the reason for this had nothing to do with politics whatsoever, I promise. The reason for this was to protect my own privacy. Cancel my registration to vote.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's because I guess like all the information goes public like online, and I do YouTube, so it's really bad news if someone finds out my address.
You can cancel your registration.
Okay.
However,
Keep the
if we
receipt.
cancel, if there's a website out, I know there's a lot of public information sites.
Yeah.
If we cancel it here, they're not going to remove your name off of the internet. That information that's out there is already out there.
I did contact them to like take it down, but I was thinking that if I took it down here, then they wouldn't be able to put it back up because usually they take it down for like 6 months and then after that I have to contact them again and again. If I tell them take it down, they won't continue to grab the data from here maybe.
Okay. That just means you're not going to be able to vote up.
Yeah, I know. It's worth it.
Status is canceled. Rule of caution, anytime you do go to the Secretary of State's office to renew your driver's license, the state, by law, automatically will update your voter registration.
Now what I'm going to tell you right now is going to come to you as a surprise if you don't live inside of the USA. You can look up anybody's name as long as they're over 18 years old on Google and find out everything about them. Literally, their first name, middle name, last name, age, phone number, previous phone numbers, house address, previous house addresses, parents' info, cousins' info, uncles, and everything that's related to them will also be there as well. For free. In America. The land of the free. You can find out literally anything about anybody. This is called the Freedom of Information Act. Now, what I realized was that my info was everywhere. The same day I turned 18, all of my information was all over these people sites, as they call it. And if you don't live in the US, you're probably stunned right now. Like that stuff actually exists for every single US citizen. Yes, actually, to my Europe boys and to my UK boys, that's kind of how we live out here. But what I realized was that all of my information was public on all of these sites. And that was really bad for me, especially because I'm a YouTuber. And if people find my house address, things might get really, really bad and hostile and malicious really quick. For the sake of my own family, I have to take these extra lengths. If you know who I am, you know I take privacy and security to the next level. I literally built a second computer that's right next to me right now that's literally dedicated just to log into my YouTube channel. So when I found out that my first and last name was public all over the internet and my house address, my phone numbers, and my parents' info as well, that scared me really, really bad. So I ended up trying to delete this by myself, realized that it was nearly impossible because there's over 20, 30, 40 sites up there that all have my information, and there was no way that I could have kept up with all of them at the same time. So I hired a company. I paid a lot of money to a specific company to wipe all of my family's information off of these people sites. And even after paying hundreds of dollars every single year to get this done, I looked up my first and last name a couple months ago, and I saw my house address right there on Google. I was stunned. I was shocked. After paying all this money and going all these lengths to keep my personal information private, my house address was right there for anybody to view for free. It was like the first search result on Google. So what I realized was that they got this information because I am a registered U.S. voter. The way that the Freedom of Information Act works in the U.S. is that you can collect a lot of information. The information is free. This is the land of the free. So technically, if anybody's a registered U.S. voter, you can look them up and find their first name, last name, phone number, house address, and political affiliation, which is a lot of information to be free out there for anybody to witness and access for themselves. Especially for me, that scared the hell out of me. So I made a plan to go to my local city clerk office and remove my right to vote. Now, before anybody starts commenting and getting smart in the comments below, voting is so important. Yeah, it's awesome to live in America because you can choose the president and this. Listen, I totally agree with that. It makes total sense. But what's more important, my right to vote or my right to live, right? It's a big, big difference there. I'd rather not vote than have someone order 500 pizza boxes to my house and then swat me every other day. That's just me. Maybe I'm being radical. I don't know, but I feel like my one ballot is not that important to sacrifice my security and my privacy for the rest of my family, because things sometimes do actually get fatal when people know your house address and you, for an example, are an esports gamer or a YouTuber or a Twitch streamer. Stuff goes south a lot of times, actually. So I went to my local city clerk's office today and I told them I want to deregister myself as a voter. And they looked at this 20-year-old kid with some curly hair, and they're like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? She said, okay, take a seat. And I sat down. A few minutes later, someone calls me up. She says, Alex? I said, yeah, I'm right here. She said, what do you want to do? I said, I want to deregister myself as a voter. I want to revoke my right to vote. She was stunned. This lady was like, why? I said, because I know that the information is public online, the Freedom of Information Act. Anybody can look up my name. And since I do YouTube, and I was holding a camera to my face, since I do YouTube, stuff can go south. So she understood, and I gave her my license. Within 3 minutes, I was out of there with a paper that's right next to me right now that has all my info on it that says, status canceled. I am no longer a registered U.S. voter in this country. Now, I think this was a great investment on my part. I feel like this is just one less way that these big data brokerages can find my information and post it online because, yeah, they might make a few dollars off of it, but it's going to give me a way bigger headache than compared to how much money that they're going to be making off of me. So I'm no longer a registered U.S. voter, and I'm trying my best to wipe myself clear off of the internet, which is somewhat nearly impossible in 2021, but at least we can do is try. Thank you for watching this video. If you yourself are a YouTuber or a streamer and your first and last name are public, you might want to It sucks. I'd love to go and vote, but it's all we can do, really. Thanks for watching this video. Stay dreaming, stay lucid. I'm out. Peace.